sadly, so many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump. And when do they break with him? Because at some point, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members.
Previously, on The Mirror, we explored the meaning of a cult.
There's a saying that religion is an old cult, and a cult is a new religion. But that's not exactly accurate.
We consulted the experts to find a model that could measure whether we might be in one.
I'm interested in the subject because of my own cult involvement. I was recruited in 1974 into a front group of the Moonies.
And that's where we met psychologist and author Stephen Hassan, who I accidentally called Stephen Hassan. My bad.
I dedicated myself to learning everything I could about the psychology of influence, about brainwashing, mind control, thought reform, hypnosis, group dynamics, and I became a mental health professional. And it's critical for people to understand the influence continuum from ethical to unethical influence and the specific variables. For example, ethical influence is fully informed consent, whereas unethical influence is deception, either outright lying, withholding vital information, or distorting it. Learn about my BITE model of mind control. BITE stands for behavior control, information control, thought control, and emotional control.
Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, he's convinced everyone who voted for Trump is in a doomsday cult and still refuses to reevaluate that diagnosis, even after years of evidence proving many of the signs he used to make that judgment wrong.
We need to be careful not to have the doomsday thinking for those of us who oppose the cult of Trump and the march to fascism.
That's right, and they're being victimized. What we want is for a lot of these people to kind of say, oh gosh, I fell for a con, I made a mistake.
We applied his BITE model to the left to see if the movement that claims to free minds might actually be controlling them.
Control their behavior.
Donald Trump's victory has caused a mass lefty meltdown. The latest manifestation of that has been droves of unhinged women shaving their heads and posting the footage to social media. Head shaving is part of the 4B movement, which protests the Trump election. It demands women abstain from sex with men as women, abstain from childbirth, abstain from marriage, abstain from romance.
Control their. Don't be stupid about it. Start slowly. A good con man takes a little bit of truth and a lot of lies and pulls the wool over the eyes of the ignorant. Induce trance states and self-hypnosis by practicing thought-stopping rituals and repetitive acts like and chanting.
Stamp out down, 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 stamp out down.
Stamp out doubt, stamp out doubt, stamp out doubt.
We did not act enough. We did not act enough. We did not act enough. Repeat after me. We did not act enough. We did not act enough. If we acted enough. If we acted enough. The headline behind me would read. The headline behind me would read. Gaza has been liberated. So our work is not done. We must show up. We must show up. Stronger than we did the first October 7th. Louder than we did the first October 7th. Make it clear. We are not going anywhere.
Control information. Keep them from knowing all the workings of the cult. Block out any information which is critical of the group.
I must say that I'm somewhat astounded that there has not been one colleague on the other side of the aisle that has brought themselves to acknowledge, much less criticize, the very obvious and blatant efforts of the Biden administration to suppress information in a very, very problematic anti-First Amendment, and I would argue illegal way. Now, Mr. Sullenberger, I want to start with you. You mentioned that you are still within the crosshairs of the censorship industrial complex. What's the end of these laws and these efforts? Is it total political power? Is it just the easy eradication of dissent? What is the goal?
Yeah, I mean, total information control is definitely the goal. They want to control the information and also shape how people understand it. That's why they talk about narrative control. And then the other part of it is they want to scare people. They just want people to be afraid to say things online.
So that they can remain in power, or, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Control their emotions.
I am going to spend the next minute screaming, because that is what is going on in here. That is what the trans genocide in this country, in this city, has brought me to.
I don't think the signs could be any clearer than this. I mean, if there was a bite scorecard, the left would be batting 1,000. To me, it just shows how sticky this stuff is, how easy it is for anyone to let mass manipulation obscure reality and blind them to truth. It happens to all of us. As Hassan himself says, it's possible and even likely to be in a cult without even realizing it. And in that journey, we met a new friend. Let's call him Mark.
Are you trying to recruit me? No. I'm just trying to share something meaningful with you.
Mark was just a nice, ordinary guy, but desperate to belong. Until belonging required obedience, and obedience demanded something darker.
Separate the recruit from himself by attacking the self and inducing a mental breakdown disguised as a spiritual awakening. When they start to freak out, have side effects, or hallucinate, tell them they are flushing out the bad stuff inside.
When I was meditating, I felt an infinite emptiness. It was utterly terrifying. No, this is good. You're transforming. Do it more.
I work for Black Lives Matter. Since I work for that company, my CEO has told me to come out today and to bring you on your knees because you have white privilege. So if they see that a white person is getting on their knees, that shows solidarity for the situation. And could you just please apologize for your white privilege? Just apologize?
I am. I'm trying to think of the right words to say because that's a big thing to say.
It's big.
Comes from.
It's large in this country.
I'm incredibly sorry that.
You know, with this country, we have that president Donald Duck, that clown in office. You know, he's brought a lot of bigotry, and you're not a part of it, right?
No, God, jeez.
No.
I think I want to leave.
You must be insane.
Make them feel guilty.
We're doing important work here.
You expect saving the world is easy?
We're all called upon to make some sacrifices for the cause.
Just when things get tough, you want to give up.
You're weak. There must be something wrong with you.
There must be something wrong with you.
There must be something wrong with you.
There must be something wrong with me. There must be something wrong with me.
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
I only applied to Cambridge, got into Cambridge, and I thought that was going to be the beginning of my full agency. It was actually the beginning of the end, and I suddenly was exposed to sort of a culture of critical theories which told me that I was a victim and that I was at an inherent disadvantage. And that really messed with my mind. I got very depressed, was on antidepressants, was suicidal for my second year. Yes, it wasn't going very well. I was very quickly exposed to critical theory, critical race theory particularly. It was very different in terms of how people saw me and wanted me to act, especially in relation to seeing white people as being oppressive to me. There was an inherent contradiction in what I was being told, especially at university, and the fact that I was expected to very much assimilate into this narrative and into a community that really conflicted with everything that I believed and had experienced.
This is the final clip of our 3-part series from the full episode, Deprogramming the Left, Inside the Mind of a Modern Cult. Now let's get back to the story. So if Hassan is right, that you can be in a cult without even knowing it, and even he, as an expert on cult psychology, is unable to reevaluate his own assessment of Trump even after evidence emerges, then I don't know, I sort of feel like we need to zoom out a little bit to get a fuller picture. Because for me, something just isn't adding up still. When most people think of a cult, they picture a small compound with a single charismatic leader dictating every move. And that does exist. But the danger is in assuming that's the only form a cult can take. take. On much of the left, there isn't a clear commanding figurehead. Authority is spread across 1,000 microphones. Activists, influencers, bureaucrats, HR trainers, journalists, all nudging the same talking points, all singing the same tune. The diffusion of influence makes the dynamic harder to see. That illusion of unanimity is often more dangerous than a lone tyrant, because responsibility is untraceable, and dissent looks like you're denying what everyone knows is truth and what everyone wants. I couldn't find a concise term that contained the nuance of all of this, so I came up with my own. I am sure some of you will disagree with me, and maybe some of you know of a term that already exists that I couldn't find. Either way, post your comments down below, and I definitely will check in with them. For now, we're going to stick with this term. The term is macro cult. So macro cults have all of the same features of a regular cult: total conformity, purity tests, self-policing, tightly controlled information, and the potential for destructive escalation, but it's decentralized and spread across millions of people. With horizontal or obscured leadership, the ideology itself becomes the unquestionable authority. Here's why we need to get better about identifying and understanding this idea of macro cults. A regular cult builds fences you can see, but a macro cult builds walls so wide and ceilings so high you don't even realize you're inside. That makes it harder to recognize, harder to escape, and far easier for entire societies to get trapped without even noticing. This is how entire nations can drift into totalitarianism. It doesn't have to happen through the rise of one single dictator at first. It can also happen through the slow, suffocating spread of a macro cult, mistaken for moral progress. And I can't help but wonder if that's what happened with the modern left. A movement that once claimed to fight for freedom, now trapped in a macro cult of its own making. I mean, when I was on the left, we didn't march under one banner or follow one leader. We didn't have to. The ideology itself commanded obedience. Whispering through institutions, algorithms, and social rewards, it quietly moved the goalposts of what was acceptable to think, what to say, and how to be. The scariest part is that most of us inside weren't fanatics and didn't even know the tenets of what we were following. We were ordinary, well-intentioned people who absorbed its worldview without even realizing it. All we knew was that we were being kind and fighting on the side of good. And that's all that really mattered. We enforced its rules, repeated its slogans, and shamed its heretics, all while believing we were acting freely. But over time, we surrendered our grip on reality to the collective hive mind, trading discernment for belonging. Against our better judgment, we accepted the contradictions, excused the dysfunction, and told ourselves that nothing harmful could come from something so widely praised. That's why I don't fully buy Andrew Doyle's assertion that the new Puritans are the clergy of a godless age. I've realized people haven't stopped worshiping. We've just changed altars.
It's that simple. Now, don't you want to become a cult leader? Don't you want devoted followers who leave their families for you, give their money to you, give their bodies to you, give up their lives for you, and will kill for you?
I will do what you say for the cause. I will leave my family for the cause. I will give you my money for the cause. I will give you my body for the cause. I will die for the cause. I will kill for the cause. I love you.
Okay, this is too much. I just need a break. This is all just a little too intense. Let me see what else is on.
We do now live in a country that has an authoritarian leader in charge. We have a consolidating dictatorship in our country. And it sounds melodramatic to say it, I know. But just go with that for a minute, right? Think in melodramatic terms. Think in cinematic terms. Imagine the cartoon-level caricature of what...
So what does this mean for us? Well, we are on the eve of an authoritarian administration. This is what 21st century fascism is starting to look like.
I'm in this fight. I am fighting. I am fighting it in this fight.
Get in this fight. Get in this fight. I am going to wake up every day and fight hard. I have been fighting. We're going to fight. We are going to fight. We're going to fight. We're going to fight. And I will fight.
Our ongoing fight of fight. We know how to fight. We like a good fight. We were born out of a fight. This is what is our fight right now. Requiring us to fight, and fight we will. Fight is a fight, and so when we fight the fight that we are in, when we are fighting this fight, we fight this fight. The strength of who we are is we will fight, and it is a fight born out of patriotism. This is a fight fighting. I say fight on, fight on, fight on, fight on.
They are fully believing that they are under a dictatorship, and they are fighting fascist Nazis, and they are the resistance. They are the rebellion. They've completely lost it, and they're going to get themselves hurt really bad.
It will be a resistance. It will be that. If you have a firearm, if you have a weapon, bring that. You have to have the capacity for violence. Because if you do not kill someone, the likelihood is that they will kill you. Federal agents, ICE agents, do not let them take you anywhere. At this point in the coup, you really think they're going to let you out. So it is us or them. We'll find a way. That's where I'll be. And only go there if you are fully 100% ready to commit your entire life, all of your time, your health, your energy, your entire mind, your soul, your heart, your body, your death to the cause.
750,000 people died during the American Civil War. If we have another war on our own soil, brother against brother, sister against sister, it will be absolutely devastating. And although I do not want this to happen, it has gotten to the point where if the people do not fight back, and if they do not stop this now, today, now, we are in for catastrophe. I don't know how else to put that. And this comes down to white people. Because I know that black and brown people, they know what this shit is about. I don't have to tell them anything. This is about racism. This is about misogyny, homophobia, xenophobia. And white people, you are at the center, and you need to do something. I don't know what it is. But you are the privileged group in this country. You, me. And we need to use that privilege to fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. This is our fault. This is our fault.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but violence is the answer. Violence has always been the answer.
I mean, no one's getting hanged, right?
Authorities say the gunman fired multiple rounds from the top of that building into this ICE facility a few hundred yards away. Tonight, NBC News has learned the shooter is 29-year-old Joshua John, according to multiple senior law enforcement officials. Police say the gunman killed one detainee and wounded two others before taking his own life. The FBI releasing this image of shell casings found near the shooter, engraved with the words, anti-ICE.
NBC 10 there, asking questions to the alleged arsonist of the Pennsylvania governor's residence, sticking his tongue out at reporters as he entered the courtroom. Balmer is the man authorities say climbed over the fence of the governor's residence in Harrisburg, broke a window, and threw two Molotov cocktails inside. The governor, his family, and their guests were all inside sleeping early Sunday after celebrating the Jewish holiday of Passover just hours before. These photos now show the charred scene left behind.
According to a 911 call Balmer made after that attack, he says he, quotes, will not take part in Shapiro's plans for what he wants to do to the Palestinian people. He needs to stop having my friends killed, end quote.
Tonight, are investigating why a shooter in his early 20s, dressed in black, opened fire through the stained glass windows of the school's church, spraying bullets at children as they sat and prayed in pews. The shooter then turned the gun on himself. He wrote, "Kill Donald Trump" on a rifle magazine. In another image, you see the words, "For the children," and in another, "Where is your God?"
Police say when Mangione was arrested, he had a gun on him that investigators believed was used in last Wednesday's attack, as well as writings expressing anger at corporate America. Manhattan prosecutors have charged him with 5 counts.
And it's completely out of touch, and it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people and its lived experience.
Similarly, all of the prosecutions in Salem were secured on what they called spectral evidence. We call that lived experience. You hear that phrase lived experience all the time. This is my lived experience, this is how I perceive this event, and therefore that is sufficient evidence for something to occur as a result, or for you to be penalized in some way.
Which raises another question. If wokeism looks like a religion and acts like a cult, What God does it serve? In the next episode, we'll trace its lineage from the religion of Marxism to the modern chapels of academia, and uncover how a movement that once promised liberation became a cult built on destruction.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not gonna do what everyone thinks I'm gonna do. Flip out, man. All I want to know is who's coming with me. Who's coming, man? Who's coming with me? Huh? Who's coming with me, man?
I will. Honestly, that scene is exactly how I felt when I was releasing these episodes. I knew that by taking this path, I would have to walk away from everything I had ever known. And it was really scary to know that pretty much nothing was going to be able to come with me. But seeing the views on this last video, more than 200,000, which is insane, and almost 10,000 subscribers out of nowhere, it's almost like I screamed, "Who's coming with me?" to the universe, and literally thousands of you called back, "I am." And I just really appreciate that. I'm not gonna get emotional.
And I'd like to say thank you to you because you like me. Right now you like me. You like me. You really, really like me.
But really, it's touched me in ways that you can't even imagine. And I just hope that many of you stay along for the journey. Please subscribe if you haven't already. For those who have asked, there are ways to support the channel if you're interested. I just set up a Patreon. The link is in the description. So that being said, thank you so much for your time, your support, and I hope to see you in the comments.